Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz, which once again is I. Okay, so some big news happened. Netflix got the rights to buy Warner Bros., right? Now, mind you, if everything goes through, Netflix is going to buy them for $82.7 million. I'm sorry, million. Did I just say million? Bro, my bad. $82.7 billion with a B. Man, that's some big money. Now, all right. What we're going to talk about today is a couple things, right? Since they bought, okay, mind you, if the government or whatever decides no, they're not going to allow this, then they can't buy them, right? But these deals usually go through, so be prepared for Warner Brothers content to be on Netflix. Which I was watching some videos today on some other tubers, and people are not happy about this. Now, mind you, I'm going to get yelled at, and people are going to be like, I hate you, Nufftingz. But I don't think it's completely bad, and we have to, sometimes I think we need to look at the positive of stuff like this, right? Because, none of us got $82 billion. So, now, one of the big IPs that they're buying, if you're a video game player or anything, is Mortal Kombat. Now, we all know Mortal Kombat has been spewing out nonsense content for a while. Their movies are terrible. I'm not gonna lie, the animated stuff that they had going on, those were good. I think those are actually really good, to be honest with you. But okay, now there's a couple things about Netflix that I notice that people are very upset about, and is that they have some really bad shows. Now, the first thing that popped in my mind, because I'm a huge fan of this show, is The Last Kingdom, right? There's a thing to be said about Netflix. I remember when Netflix was $7.99 a month, but Netflix is very pricey now, right? And I also noticed that people tend to forget that there's a lot of shows that have come on Netflix that were canceled elsewhere and then went on Netflix and they got to get a couple more years in. Which, if you really think about it, is a good thing because that also gave the actors work. There's one show I wish Netflix would have resurrected, and that was Rosewood with Morris Chestnut. But, that was actually one of my favorite shows. But they didn't think it was worth it, right? Okay. So I'm going to tell you a list of some of the shows that, got taken off the original network and then Netflix picked them up. One of them is Manifest, right? Manifest was originally canceled by NBC after 3 seasons. It gained a large, well, I can't even talk right now. Let me do that again. It gained large popularity when it began streaming on Netflix. That prompted Netflix to revive it for a 4th final season, giving fans closure after a cliffhanger. I'm having a hard time reading this because I'm actually reading something, and that's how it said. It gained a surge in popularity when it began streaming on Netflix. Yeah. All right. So that's Manifest. I've actually never watched it, so I don't know how that show goes. Arrested Development is another show I never watched. The cult favorite comedy was canceled after its 3rd season on Fox. Later, Netflix revived it, releasing a 4th season and eventually a 5th for fans who had discovered it via streaming. Okay. So that's Arrested Development, right? Now here's another show. Lucifer. Everybody liked Lucifer. I didn't watch Lucifer, but I liked Lucifer when he made a little appearance on Crisis on Infinite Earths. I love that. Lucifer, originally canceled after 3 seasons. I never knew this, on Fox. The show was picked up by Netflix, which revived it for additional seasons and gave it a proper conclusion. Cool. So, those are 3 big shows, right? Not shows that I watch, but I've heard nothing but good things about these 3 shows. So, what does that tell you there? Netflix revived said shows. Now, their network said, to hell with you, and Netflix revived them. So far, Netflix is batting 1,000. They're not going to be for long, but, Okay. Now, here's we go to another show. The Last Kingdom is one of my most favorite shows. It was canceled and saved by Netflix. Originally a BBC production, The Last Kingdom premiered on BBC Two in 2015. The BBC produced seasons 1 and 2 alongside Carnival Films. I don't know why I can't read today. BBC dropped the series after 2 seasons. The BBC did not renew it after season 2 to budget and viewership considerations. Netflix stepped in and saved it. Netflix acquired the show and fully revived it, producing season 3, season 4, season 5, which was the final season. Netflix then created a feature-length follow-up film, Seven Kings Must Die, in 2023, which served as the story's epilogue and conclusion. Why did Netflix save it? Massive international popularity on the platform, strong fan campaign and binge watch numbers, cheaper for Netflix to continue than BBC, fit perfectly into Netflix's growing historical epic category. Now, let's talk about The Last Kingdom for a second, because like I said, this is one of my shows. I remember when it was on the BBC, right? And when it got canceled, I was extremely hurt because I was a huge fan. The show is great. Like, if you've never watched The Last Kingdom, you need to watch it. It's really good. Like, it's such... Even now, one of the reasons why I can't watch it anymore is because I always break down and cry when I watch it because it just hits you in the chest, you know? Like, the guy that plays the main character, he is such a good actor and he can cry on cue, and I just love his acting. Like, the dude is really good. Like, the show is really good. Now, the thing is, the show was good, but it didn't get the popularity, right? Netflix revives it, and it got season 3, season 4, season 5. I personally believe there should have been 2 more seasons. I think season 5 was early, and Netflix is known for that when a show does like 5 seasons, they cancel it, right? Which I never agree with, but in this case, I totally disagree with that. They should have left it. The movie was great, right? It ended the show properly, and it was just... Once again, if you were a fan of the show, you had to cry at the end. Like right now, I'm talking to you about this. I'm getting a little bit, feelings in right now because I'm remembering the ending. And like a lot of the stuff that was in the show really showed, like, it really hit you in the chest. Like, it was done so well. All right. So now let's take a look at the summary of it. So season 1 and 2, BBC controlled it. It was canceled after season 2. Season 3 and 5, Netflix, full revival and continuation, and then the movie, story, conclusion, Seven Kings Must Die. Right. So, now, we got to look at some of these other shows too. There's more. Okay, so as we know, Arrested Development was originally aired on Fox 23 to 26, 20, oh my God, 20... Oh my God, I'm putting 20. 2003 to 2006. Canceled after season 3. Sorry, I'm like hyper today. In 2013, Netflix revived it, releasing a season 4 and eventually a season 5. Right? So they revived it like, God. But 2006, like 8 years later. All right. Lucifer. Now, if you're a Lucifer fan, you're happy that Netflix let them do it, finish it up. Originally canceled by Fox after season 3, Netflix picked it up, giving it additional seasons and a full conclusion, right? Perfect. Okay, there was another show, Longmire. Never heard of this one. The modern Western crime drama was canceled by A&E after its 3rd season. Netflix rescued the show and produced more season, letting it finish the story. Okay? Then there's another show, Designated Survivor, originally aired on ABC, canceled after 2 seasons. Netflix revived it for a season 3 under its banner. And this is the guy that was on 24. I'm seeing here on Designated Survivor is the guy from 24. A little story behind that. The show 24 has an actress on there. The original show. I think she started like season 9 or something. Her name is Nazneen Contractor. I actually grew up with her, which is hilarious. She was... her mom and her were customers of my mother, who is a seamstress. So yeah, I actually know the girl. I haven't seen her in years though. When she was like an actress and all that, we had already gone our separate ways. Like We weren't like that, but good person. I follow her on IG and all that, but you know, people are busy in showbiz. They ain't gonna talk to us who are not in showbiz. Okay, moving on. That was a little bit of a tangent on the side there. Okay, another show, The Killing. Originally canceled by AMC after season 2, then picked up by Netflix for a final 4th season. Why would it say final 4th season if it was after season? I guess that is season 3. To wrap up the story. Okay, so that's The Killing. I have no idea what that is. Never seen it. Gilmore Girls. Revival via streaming, not exactly full new season, but notable. The original run ended in 2007 via the WB and the CW. Later, Netflix revived it as a mini-series special, A Year in the Life in 2016, giving fans more closure, a taste of continuation. All right, so those are the shows that were resurrected and did well. Now, seeing how Netflix has all this money and they've bought a lot of IPs, there's one show, and this is considered their biggest L, like their worst show, The Witcher. I actually shot down what Netflix messed up. Henry Cavill leaving after season 3, the face of the franchise, deeply loyal to the book lore. Fans felt Netflix ignored the original story, making unnecessary changes. Scripts reportedly mocked the books/games, frustrating Cavill. Season 3 saw a huge drop in viewer attention. Recasting Gerald with Liam Hemsworth caused massive backlash. Okay, let's go on to The Witcher for a second. If you play The Witcher, which if you follow Nufftingz Speaks, you would know I play the shit out of The Witcher. Now, if you play The Witcher is one of the greatest games, like Witcher 3, one of the greatest games ever. One of the best franchise ever. I think The Witcher is just such a great IP, and it should have been a better TV series. I actually did watch the first 2 seasons, and then when I found out that Henry Cavill was leaving, I never watched again. I just couldn't deal with it. I think one of the things The Witcher did wrong was it really didn't do the comics or like the books or the games any justice. I think it was terrible. There was one thing that I wish they had done. Do you remember in The Witcher 3 when you fight the 3 sisters? That's one of the greatest fights ever to me in video game history. I don't know why. It's probably not even top 5, or top 100. But to me, I enjoy the hell out of that fight. I could just keep replaying it over and over again. I don't know why I love it. There's something about it. It just tickles me. Like, I don't know why I like it. I could just play it over and over again. It's just such a great, fight. Like, I don't know what it is. I wish they had put that in the show. I don't know if they did it for the later seasons. I seriously doubt it. But yeah. The Witcher also went from Netflix's Game of Thrones challenger to franchise and freefall. It was terrible. I don't recommend you watch it. Another show, Cowboy Bebop. Poor pacing and tone changes, altered key character motivations, inconsistent blending of comedy and noir, vicious fan backlash from anime loyalists. I have no idea what that is. Here's another one. Resident Evil. Now, we got to give Netflix a little bit of love on this. When have they ever released any good Resident Evil movie or anything that was good? But I heard this show was terrible. Connected poorly to the games. Tone shifted between teen drama and horror. It should have just been horror. Strange timeline structure, inconsistent villain writing, poor CGI moments went viral for wrong reasons. Canceled after 1 season. Damn. Alright, so here's another one. Altered Carbon. Amazing start, then mismanaged. What Netflix hurt. Season 1 praised as a sci-fi masterpiece. Season 2, budget drastically cut. Major cast changes confused casual viewers. Story rushed, world building reduced. Canceled after season 2, even though the universe had massive potential. Now, this is the show with Anthony Mackie in it, right? I never even knew this was a show until one day when I went to Netflix and saw it there. Like there was no commercial anywhere else. I didn't see it on anything when I go on social media or nothing. So yeah, there's so many, but we're not gonna go anymore because there's like a lot here. There's Cursed, there's Fate, the Winx Saga, Shadow and Bone, the QA, Jupiter's Legacy. Like these are all shows that they just shit the bed with. Now, let's talk about the actual acquisition. So, on December 5th, 2025, Netflix and Warner Bros Discovery announced a definitive agreement. Netflix will acquire the streaming and studio business of Warner Bros., including its film and TV studios, HBO, HBO Max streaming, and the games division. Wow, HBO Max? I actually forgot they had that. I like watching Oz. The deal value, US 82.7 billion enterprise value, 72 billion equity. The acquisition includes Warner Brothers Games, which owns multiple game development studios, including NetherRealm Studios, the studio behind Mortal Kombat. Netflix says it intends to maintain Warner Brothers' current operations and keep existing divisions intact, meaning they're not necessarily dismantling or shutting down studios. So, pending a regulatory approval and deal closing expected 2026, Netflix will become the owner of Mortal Kombat IP and all other Warner-owned franchises. Okay, so with this, what this could mean for Mortal Kombat and related IP. Here's how this takeover could impact Mortal Kombat. All right, so potential upsides. Bigger budget and broader exposure. With Netflix global reach, Mortal Kombat games or even new movie series could get more investment. Think bigger marketing push, cross-media tie-ins, games, movies, series, spin-offs. Cross-media synergy. Netflix could integrate MK into its streaming ecosystem, maybe a series, movie, or animated show, alongside game release, leveraging their film, TV, and games combo. Faster turnaround revitalization. If previous WB games missteps, funding issues held back MK development, Netflix might inject resources and give renewed life to the franchise, new game sequels, remasters. I mean, with the new Mortal Kombat Legacy thing and how that one shat the bed, that would be good. Global release and reach. Netflix global footprint could mean MK gets more exposure internationally than under the old Warner structure, boosting its popularity, fan base, and revenue potential. Okay, those are the positives, right? Now here's the risks. Uncertainty over creative direction. Changing corporate ownership might lead to shift in priorities. Netflix may push for safer or more monetizable, monetizable versions. Perhaps more casual, more cosmetic, microtransaction oriented instead of hardcore MK vibe. Focus on streaming content over games. Netflix strength is streaming. They may prioritize movie series over games. If games underperform, MK might get deprioritized. Okay. Potential delays or shakeups. Integration or reconstructing could slow down planned MK projects. Development delays, studio reshuffling, changes to development teams. Risk of brand dilution. Commercialization or mismanaging, like oversaturating MK cross media without care, could damage the brand's legacy, alienate core fans. Okay. So let's talk about MK for a second here. As we said all that, one of the things I think could happen with MK being on Netflix is they might try to water down the content, as in it won't be like as gory as it is. I seriously hope they don't do that, because MK's got to be bloody and gory, like seriously. Even that TV series they had where they had like Snowblind and all that, that was extremely gory. The Mortal Kombat Legends series, if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. They're so good. I think the second one was terrible, but the first and the third one were fine. The first one's the best one. But when we're talking about like gore and all that, like, and just straight up violence, if that's what you like, you're gonna like it. Because that show was proper with the MK stuff. I'm not gonna lie, the Mortal Kombat games have been pretty Like the new one, Mortal Kombat 1, I guess it's okay, like whatever. But Mortal Kombat 11 was okay. Mortal Kombat X, I think they should have continued on with that story instead of rebooting the franchise. Mortal Kombat 9, that was an amazing game. And then that was NetherRealm, right? But before that, Midway, they had a lot of bad games. A lot of IPs really threw them in the dirt, but they did have some really good Mortal Kombat games and some really amazing characters that they created. So I'm hoping that Ed Boon likes the new management and is given a little more love to, get something going. Um, I honestly always felt that Warner Brothers might have kept Ed Boon from doing what he wanted to do, but they need to stop rebooting the franchise. Like that's just my whole thing with Mortal Kombat. So hopefully Netflix will say, okay, you know what? Let's get something going. Like I honestly feel like instead of rebooting the franchise, they should have some side games, side stories. Like let's watch what's the guy's name again? The original Kung Lao when he loses to Goro. Like let's watch that. Let's watch some stuff. Like let's watch when Shinnok tried to take over and had to fight the elder gods and all that. Like let's have some of that. Let's go back in time to when Onaga was the ruler of Outworld and Shao Kahn had poisoned him. Like what led up to that? Like there's so much they could do background. Like they should do like a TV spin-off series on Order Realm and their fight with Chaos Realm. Like let's see those guys. Let's go back to Taven and Dagon when they were kids and their parents were figuring out what they're going to do with the whole Blaze thing. Like there's so much. Like let's go back to the Lin Kuei back in the day, to when they were doing shit for Shinnok, or do like a little short spin-off series or movie showing when they kidnapped Cyrax and got Sector, which Sector wasn't kidnapped, and turned them into cyborgs. And have like show the original timeline where Smoke became a cyborg, and then show the new timeline when Sub-Zero became a cyborg. Like show us them fighting, trying to save themselves. And like there's so much spin-off stories they could do. Like we could do stuff like that. And with the other IPs, I hope, like, honestly, as a gamer, you have to be honest. Our games are ass now. And it would be nice if these games would just get the right writing, the right money into it. Hopefully, like, whoever writes some of these games, they're creative and they're not held down by what's woke and having to put some weird crap in the game and rainbows and pink flowers. Like, I don't mind you do that, but it shouldn't be forced in every game. Like, let's have a game where it's just mindless, dumb shit, and we sit there playing it while eating Cheetos and farting. Like, like what happened to those days where you can sit there and eat Cheetos and fart? You know what I mean? Like, or you can go on mic and talk shit to your friends while you're playing the game and they never bought it yet, and you're like, yo, bro, you won't believe what happens now. Yo, don't spoil it for me. Man, fuck you, I'm gonna spoil it for you. Like, you talk shit. Like, this is why can't we have those, man? Like, just let us live, bro. Like, give us something that we can enjoy and be happy about, man. Life is hard. Let's be happy. Anyways, that is my video on this. I think it's a good deal. We got into the backstory on a lot of these shows. Hopefully, cross our fingers, cross our toes, cross our belly buttons, that Netflix doesn't fuck this up and mess up all of our IPs, because we all know how Microsoft is fucking up all of our IPs. I'm still waiting for Fable. And Perfect Dark, which they canceled. Trash. So hopefully Netflix can do something and, resurrect the gaming industry. Give us, bro, what they could do? You know how we have all these arcade style games like Cosmic Invasion, Rita's Rewind, Shredder's Revenge? Can you imagine a game like that with Mortal Kombat characters. Yo, that would be cool. Or we get a remaster of Shaolin Monks and get a part 2, a different timeline, but it's Shaolin Monks. Like, I would love to play, those games. Like, those are games I wish they would just bring up and just put some effort into it. Anyways, that was my video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.